It's time for the Trucker John Livestream. Gonna be a good time, oh yeah. The Trucker John Livestream. Come along for a good time. It's a good time, good time, good time, good time. Trucker John Livestream. Gonna be a good time. Gonna be the time of your life. Gonna talk some shit, hush your mouth. Gonna talk a little smack. Gonna talk whatever comes of it. You're gonna always wanna come back. Well yeah, it's the Trucker John Livestream. He's the biggest, baddest, funniest mother you've ever seen. Watch your mouth, he's headed south. Not even sure what that means, but if it's one thing I know, the Trucker John Livestream is the best thing you've ever seen. It's time for the Trucker John Livestream. Gonna be a good time, oh yeah. The Trucker John Livestream. Come along for a good time. It's a good time, good time, good time, good time. Trucker John Livestream. Gonna be a good time. Gonna be the time of your life. Gonna talk some shit, hush your mouth. Gonna talk a little smack. Gonna talk whatever comes of it. You're gonna always wanna come back. Well yeah, it's the Trucker John Livestream. He's the biggest, baddest, funniest mother you've ever seen. Watch your mouth, he's headed south. Not even sure what that means, but if it's one thing I know, the Trucker John Livestream is the best thing you've ever seen.
Nowhere else in the world could a kid with a stutter and modest beginnings in Scranton, Pennsylvania, and Claymont, Delaware, grow up to sit behind the resolute desk in the Oval Office. That's because America is, and always has been, a nation of possibilities. Possibilities. We must never lose that. Never. Kamala and Tim understand that this nation must continue to be a place of possibilities, not just for the few of us, but for all of us. So join me in promising your whole heart to this effort. and where my heart will be. I promise I'll be the best volunteer Harrison Waltz has Cam ever seen. Each of us has a part in the American story. For me and my family, there's a song that means a lot to us, that captures the best of who we are as a nation. The song is called American Anthem. There's one verse that stands out, and I can't sing worth a damn, so I'm not going to try. I'll just quote it. The work and prayers of centuries have brought us to this day. What shall our legacy be? What will our children say? Let me know in my heart, when my days are through, America, America, I gave my best to you. I've made a lot of mistakes in my career, but I gave my best to you. For 50 years, like many of you, I've given my heart and soul to our nation. And I've been blessed a million times in return with the support of the American people. I've either been too young to be in the Senate because I wasn't 30 yet, and too old to stay as president. But I hope you know how grateful I am to all of you. I can honestly say, and I mean this in the bottom, give you my word as a Biden, I can honestly say I'm more optimistic about the future than I was when I was elected as a 29-year-old United States Senator. I mean it. Folks, we just have to remember who we are. We're the United States of America. And there's nothing we cannot do when we do it together. God bless you all, and may God protect our troops.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, the moment you've been waiting for. Trucker John. All right, everybody. Hopefully you can hear me. Hopefully everything's on. Good morning, good morning, good morning. I thought I would start off with those last few minutes of Joe Biden's speech last night, the DNC day one. Quite a night, huh? Quite a night. I watched that. I didn't watch it live. I watched it afterwards because I was out Ubering. But before I left, I did watch. I saw AOC. I'm going to play a clip of her later on. I love AOC. I think she's awesome. I saw Jasmine. It was Jasmine Crockett. She was really good. Hillary Clinton was really good. I saw those, and then I had to go. But what a way to start! Kamala Harris came out, and got things started. With a little surprise, walk on the stage there. Really amazing stuff. It's 9:13 here in the Pacific time zone in beautiful Las Vegas. I do have a bit of a cold, apparently. I don't know if you remember a couple shows ago. I think on Saturday I was bitching about one of my passengers was coughing the whole goddamn trip, and I remember, and I was thinking, you better not get me sick, motherfucker. You better not get me sick. I think that motherfucker got me sick. In the last couple of days, I've been kind of sick, and so there might be a lot of nose blowing and coughing during the show, so I apologize. Uh, so yeah, if you guys make sure, I guess you guys can hear me. I'm not saying in the chat like no audio, no audio. So it sounds like everything's going okay, sound wise. Anyhow, just want to say hi real quick. We've got Fancy. Looks like Fancy was first. Good morning to Fancy. Minus Kevin Anderson in the chat. Roxanne Arfield. Good morning to Roxanne. Walter Makarovich is here. Says good morning, Trucker John. What a powerful historical speech last night by President Biden. Let me. I think the sound is still up on this. There we go. Shut that off. For over an hour, he destroyed Trump and MAGA cult in one night. William is here. Good to see William. Good morning to you. Teresa TAK is in the house. Good morning to Teresa. I'm wondering if I should switch glasses. I don't know. I think I need. I did get a little email from my eye doctor to come in for a. I think it was a free checkup and a tune-up or whatever they call it. So maybe I need to do that. I don't know. Let's see if these work better. But then whatever. I guess that's a little bit better. William's here. Teresa's here. Carrie C's here. Hey, Carrie C. Good to see you. Thanks for jumping on in here into the chat. You guys all make sure you give me a thumbs up and hit that share button and subscribe. Hey, I think it's Mike H. Yeah, Mike H is here. All right, Mike H. Good to see you. Thanks for stopping by. Let's see here. Everyone's saying hello. Josh Cryer's in the driver's lounge. Says that DNC opening was something else. How can they top it? Oh, I think they will. So they'll manage. They've still got a whole lineup of amazing people. Barack Obama, I think, is going to speak tonight. And at some point, I think there's going to be probably Thursday. Thursday's the big night, right? There might be Taylor Swift and Beyonce. I would love to see them perform together, not separately. You know what I mean? If they could, it'd be awesome to see them together, like duetting or shit or whatever. I don't know. That would be awesome. MJ Daniel, Nappy Time Donnie. Still in chat? Still in chat? You deserve the 33K. Thank you so much. Thank you. William says, congrats on 3,000. Thank you guys so much. Wouldn't have done it without you guys. Everybody who comes on here likes, subscribes, and shares. That's how it's done. Thanks to you guys for watching and getting the show out. I don't have a cough button, so apologize for that. Pamela says, I voted in Florida this morning, feeling good. All right. MJ Daniels says, great speech. I would have gladly voted for this guy. I would have too, of course, obviously. But we can see, you know, I mean, it ignited a whole other segment that was just, I think, they were just going to sit it out. And by him stepping down and bringing Kamala on top of the ticket, it just lit a fire under all these kids, basically, and other groups that I think weren't excited, they weren't interested. For some reason, people have to. There are some people there's people like me and probably a lot of you in the chat. I vote every election. You know, I just vote. I don't need someone to excite me or whatever to get me to vote. I just vote because I think it's important. I think it's important to vote and to try to get the people that I like in office. And because I feel like if I sit it out and let's say a Republican wins, then I'll blame myself because I didn't show up and vote. I'll be like, damn it, I should have voted. But there are some people that for some reason, they just won't vote unless they feel excited about it. I don't really get it. I don't get the mentality, you know, of why it's so hard to get people to vote sometimes. But Kamala Harris has, you know, raised a lot of enthusiasm. as well as a lot of money. Hey, Mr. Spock is here, so live long and prosper. I don't know if you guys were watching the Stephanie Miller show on Twitch before it took a shit, but what's his face? Charlie Pierce did the old Spock thing, the old Vulcan thing, because he was talking about Leonard Nimoy, and he did the Vulcan deal. And the first thing I thought it was Mr. Spock. So there, yeah. Robert Propont is here. Robert Propont says, "What the fuck?" I don't. Okay, well, yeah, what the fuck? I don't know. Still in chat says John. I guess that's talking to me. I guess. Still in chat says, "Hello, John." Hello. Still in chat. Hello back at you. Mike H says, "If that doesn't bring tears to your eyes, nothing will." Did Joe Biden move you? Did he? Mike H. Walter McCarver says the sad part of that MAGA will never work together with anyone but themselves. Yeah, MAGA's going to be. I don't know. I was just saying they're going to go, but what's going to replace MAGA? I don't know. So is it going to be something more reasonable, or is it going to be something worse? Who knows? Robert Perpont says it was a sad, sad night for maggots on X last night. I don't go to X. I deleted my X account. I don't want anything to do with X. I encourage everyone to leave X. Go to Threads. Threads is better. I still like the format of Twitter and X, but that's a sad part of it. The actual format of it, with the trending news and all that, it is a very good thing. It's too bad that Elon Musk owns it, because I don't like Elon Musk. But so I'm on Threads now, as well as Substack. Oops, I almost knocked that over. But I'm not on X, so I don't know what happened on X, and I really don't care what happened on X, because I don't follow them. I'm not on there anymore. Josh Quire says, how could they possibly top opening night? Well, I like I said, we'll see. We'll see. They've got a lot of big heavy hitters still to go. But that was awesome. I get the point. I mean, that speech there with Joe Biden was something else. Deborah Murphy says, hello, loved the whole night and cried a lot. Non-useful COVID-19. No, it's just a cold, dude. Just a cold. That's funny now. I guess every time someone gets a cold, it's going to be, you got COVID? You got COVID? Josh Cryer, I got some scratchy throat recently, but it passed. Still in chat says, John, you might remember, but I'm not in the U.S., and could you recap the whole presidential situation? The whole thing? You want me to recap the whole thing? Okay, look, here, I'm not going to recap the whole thing, but here, in a nutshell, we're basically a two-party system. We've got two major parties, the Republicans and the Democrats. The Republicans, they've made it official who their nominee is going to be for president, and that is Donald J. Trump and J.D. Vance as his vice president. The Democrats have unofficially chosen or nominated Kamala Harris after Joe Biden stepped down, saying he wouldn't be able to do it, and he endorsed Kamala Harris. She immediately raised $300 million. Everyone's, all on board supporting Kamala Harris. All the Democrats, anyhow, and I guess the independents who vote that way. And this is the Democratic National Convention, where on Thursday, all the states, all the electors or whatever, they will make it official, cast their ballots for the this is like the end of the primaries, right? And it will become official. Kamala Harris and Tim Walz will be the official Democratic nominees for president and vice president, and it's a ticket. They run together. It's not separate. It's always president and vice president is the same ticket. So when you vote for Kamala Harris, you're voting for Tim Walz. Okay, you don't have to do two separate things. So now we have the nominees for each party. The general election is going to be held on November 5th. There is early voting in a lot of places. People can vote and mail in their ballots or drop their ballots off. But the official voting day, election day, is November 5th this year. It's always, the first Tuesday of November. And that's when we'll find out who the next president of the United States is going to be. Will it be Kamala Harris or will it be Donald Trump? That's what we're all dying to find out. And we can't wait. We can't wait. Okay, so I hope I don't know if I explained it right, and if I left anything out, you guys can chime in the chat. Let's see. Jolie's here. Good to see Jolie. Thanks for being here, Jolie. I hope Jolie's feeling better. I know Jolie's been a little under the weather lately. I hope you're feeling better, and I hope you're getting all that stuff situated with your folks and everything. I know that's really hard to do if you're not feeling well on top of that, and then plus the hard work of moving your folks and everything. Josh Cryer. Okay, I already read that. Okay. Fancy, why aren't you wearing a mask? I know, because no one's wearing a mask. And I'm fully vaccinated, as you can see. I don't know if you can see my shirt. My shirt says vaccinated. I'm vaccinated. I am boosted. I know you can still get COVID, apparently. But if you do get it and you're vaxxed and boosted, I guess it's supposed to be really mild. I'm not going to wear a mask unless CDC says I have to. Okay, let's put it that way. Robert Proponent said hello. Let's see here now. I'm just going on now. Pamela says Jolie is the best mod, and I agree. Mr. Spock says I never get a cold or a flu. Been so long I forgot when I was sick. Don't jinx yourself, Mr. Spock. Don't you might have just jinxed yourself. You know, that's why I never say stuff like that. Because the second I say I never get sick, I'll get sick. But Robert Proponent says aliens don't get sick. Or don't get the flu. And Mr. Spock. Tim Farrell said, hey, one of our resident Tims is here. Good to see Tim. Thanks for joining us in the driver's lounge. As we're just kind of kicking it. I am a bit under the weather. I feel a little groggy. The other night, so I guess it was 2 nights ago, I had it was a really big sort of like head cold where it was a really congested, type of deal. And I use a CPAP. In case you guys didn't know, so at nighttime when I put the CPAP on, and I was having a real hard time because I guess I just normally breathe through my nose, but I was having to breathe through my mouth because my nose was plugged up, and it just wasn't working very good with the CPAP. And I tried. I think I tried for like 3 hours, and I just couldn't get to sleep. And I didn't get to bed till like I think 3 o'clock in the morning or something, because I went out Ubering. By the time I charge the car, I come home. I usually watch an hour of TV, and then I go to bed. So it's usually somewhere around 2:30, 3 o'clock. And so I was laying there, and you know how you got your eyes closed, you're trying to sleep. And I'm not really someone. I know some people probably in the chat suffer from insomnia. I'm not an insomniac. I usually just go to sleep, lay my head on the pillow, and boom, I'm usually out. But 2 nights ago, it was like 3 hours, and I had my eyes closed, and I'm kind of, I almost feel like I'm sleeping, but I'm really not sleeping. And my head is my mind is kind of working and thinking of stuff. And for like 3 hours, I did that. So here it is, like it's like 6 or 6:30 in the morning. So finally, I just take off the CPAP. I go, okay, this is not working because it was actually like causing pain in my like nasal cavities or something. So I took the CPAP off, and then I think I finally did fall asleep. And so it was one of those days where it ruined my whole sleep cycle because now I was just kind of sleeping all through the day, and and then I went to work last night, and and then this last night I slept good, but I did do the same thing where I didn't go to bed till about 3 because I got home, and then I've been watching Wednesday. That's one of the shows I never did watch, and it's on Netflix. And I've been starting to watch Wednesday. You know that show Wednesday. It's about Wednesday, like the Addams Family. And it was, you remember that it started off all these big dancing TikTok dancing videos. And so I knew all about that, but I had never watched the show, and I heard it was really good. So for the last few nights, I've been watching Wednesday, or actually, I guess 2 nights because I think I just watched episode 2 last night. So I watched that, and then by the time I watch that, it's like I think 3 in the morning. I go to sleep, and I slept pretty good though. But I only slept like 3 hours because I think I woke up. What time did I wake up? About maybe 4 hours. I think I woke up at 7, and then I couldn't go back to sleep. So anyhow, I don't know if this is interesting or not. Sugar John's sleeping habits and viewing habits, but it is what it is. What it is. It is what it is. Josh Cryer says, "Lord God, if Taylor and Beyonce showed, that'd be incredible. Though Swift is touring London right now, so it would have to be via video, unless she's crazy and did a 24-hour flight turnaround. I don't know. You never know. I mean, she's a billionaire. She can hop on a plane. I mean, I guess she's not going to cancel anything. That kind of sucks. She should have planned that better. She should have scheduled her tour around the DNC. Um, but I remember during the Super Bowl, she was in Tokyo, I think, and then she ended up at the game right here in Vegas. Uh, so I don't know, but yeah, maybe they'll do a video thing. I guess they might have to do that. Tim says, Taylor and Beyonce, you know something we don't. Oh no, I just no, I don't know. I don't know, but I just said that would be great, and I have a feeling Beyonce is going to be there, and I'm pretty sure Taylor Swift is all on board with Kamala. So, although I don't know if she's officially said anything. But I know she was. I think she was endorsing Biden. So yeah, I don't know anything, but it would be great. I just say that would be awesome. Wouldn't that be awesome? Taylor Swift and Beyonce on Thursday night on the big night. I think that'd be awesome. Josh Cryer, I voted every election since 2000 when I turned 18. Yeah, me too. I mean, my first election was 1980, my first presidential election. Deborah Murphy says, I I don't know what that means. Be how some were upset, like they did not understand why Biden spoke. Um, who was upset about that? Apple 707 is here. Good to see you, Apple 707. Thanks for being here. I feel like I'm a little too far from the mic, but I guess you guys can hear me okay. So Josh Cryer says, I was legit going to sit this one out, but as a Nevadan and a patriot, I will make Nevada blue. Thank you, Josh Cryer, fellow Nevadan. And make sure you vote. It's important, man. We need your vote because Trump was leading Biden in Nevada in the polls by I think at least 5 points. I think at some point it might have been even more than that. Since Kamala Harris has got in the race, I think it's flipped. I think she's leading in Nevada. But we also have Jackie Rosen running for re-election in the U.S. Senate. So it's important to vote. I don't know why would you sit it out. I don't want to give you a hard time, Josh, but I don't know why you would sit it out. Don't they just send the ballot to your house and you just fill it out and you can just But they have mail-in voting here. You can just mail it back in. I don't know why people sit things out. uh, sorry for the coughing. Well, let's see. MJ Daniels says, back around 2000, we went to Mexico and decided to get a van service to the airport. And coming back, some guy coughed the whole way back, and a lady kept saying she was going to be sick. So much fun. Oh, yeah. I know. The other day, I had someone who I was afraid might have been drunk or something. And then as we're driving, I started hearing a couple of noises, and I thought, oh my God, this motherfucker better not throw up in my car. Fortunately, he didn't, but I was worried. Hey, Michael McAndrews says, I met Hal last Saturday. I'm still on cloud 9. Congratulations, Michael. I bet you that must have been nice. Hal's a great guy. He's a really awesome guy. So, congratulations. I'm glad you were able to meet him. Fancy wants to know if you got an autograph. Michael says, I got some awesome selfies. See, that's the thing. When I was talking to Hal after the Nerd Halo show, and I was live streaming, and I forgot to try to get a selfie with him because I was like live streaming. But I could have, I guess, turned the camera around and said, hey, let's do a little selfie thing. But I didn't. I wish I would have. Non-useful says a nearly 300-page report prepared by the House Oversight Committee, House Judiciary Committee, and House Ways and Means Committee, and serendipitously, that's not making fun of you, non-useful. That was making fun of me for not being able to say it right. Obtained by Fox News on the first day of the Democrat National Convention, alleges that Biden committed impeachable conduct. Yeah, they can allege all they want. We know what James Comer alleges a lot of shit, and he never proves anything. Never proves anything because they don't got nothing. Teresa says the DNC was very good and inspiring. RNC stinks. Always a circus party, and weird entertainment. I never listened to the RNC. Robert Propone says, but I love the Magateers and the copium. I don't even know what copium is on X. I understand it's a trash heap now, but hearing the maggots cry is music to my ears, not tears. They have the tears. You got the ears. Michael McAndrews, I got selfies with Angela, and she made all her beautiful faces. So cool. Oh, that's cool. That is cool, Michael. I'm jelly. Hey, Ginger's mom says hi, John. Hello, Ginger's mom. Good to see you. Thanks for joining us here in the driver's lounge. Thanks for coming on in. I'm still just greeting everyone. Fancy says the Republicans are bad and Democrats are good. But Mike H disagrees, apparently. But I'm not surprised. And Fancy is not having any of it. Hey, Keith Polite's here. Good to see Keith. Welcome to the Driver's Lounge. Good to see you. Keith Polite says, in 4 short years, Pete Buttigieg has risen to be a DNC Wednesday speaker. I am anticipating a thoughtful speech. Oh, yeah, I think he's good. Pete Buttigieg is good. It'll probably be a really great speech. Mr. Fox says, unify Earth under one government and no more BS elections. Less stress is good. Capitalism creates needless stress. Simple logic. We're probably a few hundred years away from that. I don't know. Hey, Doug G is here. Good to see Doug G. Thanks for being here. Haven't seen Doug G in a while. Number one trucker at Trucker John. Well, thank you. MJ Denton has a bunch of emojis. And like I said, I don't really read emoji very good, but there's like blue heart. I guess it means love Democrats. And then there's like flowers and rainbows and flames. and orange and skunks and shit and clown and death. It's a whole thing going on here. Looks like there's bugs and snakes or worms. I don't know. MAGA vote wisely. Water McCarrick says, and the same in the primary. When you voted for Biden, you also vote for Kamala Harris, and she was on the Biden ticket. Yeah, that's right. We got some more votes for Jolie. Jolie number one from both Fancy and Mike H. One of the few things that Fancy and Mike H will can agree on. It's a beautiful thing, Jolie. You are uniting the parties, Jolie. Whether you know that or not, you're uniting the parties here. Mrs. Spock, yep, 100% TJ, especially having no COVID shot. Kind of freaking over that. Gotta get sleep. Gotta get ASAP. Jolie was feeling better. Says I was feeling better. Went on a hike. Had a great day. Day out in the woods all alone. Awesome. Only I wasn't alone. Guess who else was there? Poison Oak. Oh, Jolie, don't tell me you got poison oak poisoning. Oh man, Jolie, poor thing. With all the other things going on, and now you got that. Oh man, I'm sorry to hear that, Jolie. Hopefully those steroids will clear it up, and hopefully you don't get too jacked up though. I know it's a different kind of steroid. Fancy says, get the new flu shot to Mr. Spock. I hear it's a bad one. Maybe I should do that. I've never been one to get flu shots, but I guess now that I'm old, I should get one. Well, Fancy says, did you go spraying those germs? I guess you're talking to me. I did feel a little guilty last night because I did cough a few times. I did feel a little guilty, and I was thinking I should put on a mask, but I didn't. Because I was wondering, like, if I did wear a mask, like, what will people think? I mean, will they think? Well, I shouldn't be in the car with this guy. He's got a mask on. I don't know. And if somebody says, why are you wearing a mask? And I would say, well, I've got a bit of a cold and I don't want to spread it. Then they might think, well, then why did you just stay home? So I don't know. James Williams is here. James says, what an opening night for the DNC. Pretty impressive. Robert proposes, I hate that sleeping but not really sleeping. I know exactly what you mean, as that happens to me every so often, and I don't like it. Yeah, it was just like I felt like I just wasted 3 hours, trying to sleep. I just stayed up and watched a couple more episodes of Wednesday. Apple 707 says I love Wednesday. So far, I've seen the first 2 episodes, and I think it's a great show. And as I was watching episode 2, I was thinking, boy, they sure did turn like Addams Family into Harry Potter, kind of. It's like, but better. I mean, I actually think I like this better than Harry Potter, but it reminds me of the school and all that, and they have all the different groups, just like Hogwarts or whatever it's called. And all the kids all have different things. Some are werewolves and some are whatever they are. Michael McAndrews says, I'm camping again, and our friends just arrived. Love you all. See you later. All right, Michael, thanks for dropping by. Have a good time camping. Sounds like you camp a lot and enjoy it. Well, I guess while the weather's still good. And have a good time. And thanks for stopping by. MJ Daniel, it would be fun to have Swift show up to introduce Kamala last night. Probably won't happen, though. Well, I guess as someone said, she's on tour in like Italy or something. Might have to do a video remote. Fancy says that I hear you just fine. TJ. Thanks for updating me on that. Fancy says, do you see a lot of Trump signs in Nevada? I don't see really any signs. I don't see any yard signs for either side, actually. Trump has a billboard running that pops up. You know, they have those. Now, most of the billboards are like electronic, you know, so they can switch out the advertising. And every now and then I'll see a big giant Trump one, and it says Trump, and it says like, I think it says like, proven leadership or something, some horse shit like that. But as far as yard signs and something, I don't see any. Which, you know, I wonder what that means as far as turnout is concerned, you know. Mike H. Push lots of clear fluids. Does water count? I've got my water. But I am kind of countering it with some dark fluid, coffee. I had orange juice today. I love orange juice. That's not real clear. That's more like orange. But I do drink a lot of water. Let's see here. James, I didn't mean to flip you guys off. I had a little itch. Don't take it like I was flipping you off. I was not flipping anybody off. James Williams says, I drove transit and ended up with a viral pericarditis. Along with 10 other operators, I had surgery and recovered. Unfortunately, none of the other drivers survived the damage. Damn, I don't know what that is, but it doesn't sound good. They had to have surgery, and some didn't survive the damage. Damn. Yeah, maybe everyone who drives should just, you know, drives people. Maybe we should just all wear masks no matter what. Mr. Flex says, once a woman was going to be sick while driving the city bus, I stopped in a bad spot ASAP and waited for her to finish. Well, that's good that you did that. Fancy says, I see nothing but Kamala signs here in LA. Oh, yeah, LA is a big, you know, a blue city in a blue state. And of course, the bluest areas are LA, San Francisco, you know, those areas, those metropolitan areas. That's the highest population density. That's where most of your Democrats are. When you start going inland, not so much, but there's not that many people. You know, there's almost 10 million people in LA, and there's, I don't know, several million in the Bay Area, right? And then you got the San Diego area, which might be a mix because it's almost like the Orange Curtain, Orange County. I know it's not San Diego, but it's kind of like that. Probably a lot of Republicans, you know, a lot of wealthy people, but maybe more of a mix. But once you get into like the San Joaquin Valley, Central Valley, even out in the desert where I lived, a lot of Republicans. But like I said, it doesn't really mean that there's a lot of Republicans because they're more spread out there. It's smaller populations. But I guess I'm just trying to remember, like, sometimes they show a map and where the red signifying Republicans, blue signifying Democrats, and there'll be a big giant swath of red, and then you'll see maybe this kind of spot of blue and a spot of blue here, but those spot of blues have between them almost 20 million people probably, and that big giant swath of red might have, you know, 5 million people. And it's the same way when they do the whole United States, and they show the blue and the red, and it looks like, look at all the red, man. But what people don't, I think people realize, I should realize anyhow, is all those states like Kansas and Nebraska and Wyoming and New Mexico, they've got like 2 people in each state. You know, I mean, there's no one lives there. All right, I know that people live there. It's But we're talking out of all those states, a few million people. And so where all the blue ones are at, like New York and California and all these places, there's like tens of millions of people, tens and tens and tens of millions. So you can't go by those color maps, you know. Uh, all right, guys. So I'm gonna. I just wanted to show. This is what I really liked watching last night. I got a couple clips that I thought were really cool. Okay, so this was cool. This was last night at DNC, and this is a little video from a fan that was in the audience there. So Kamala Harris comes out. I actually missed this. I hadn't turned it on, or I had it on earlier, and then I switched back and forth. I actually missed when she came out. But there she is. Kamala Harris pops out. Everyone gets excited. And she starts it off by getting everybody excited. And then we had. Here's some of this. I watched AOC. I tell you what, man. I am so in love with her. And I don't mean that in a creepy way. I just mean she's awesome. And here's AOC. Wait, wait.
That Donald Trump would sell this country for $1 if it meant lining his own pockets and greasing the palms of his Wall Street friends. And I, for one, am tired of hearing about how a two-bit union buster thinks of himself as more of a patriot than the woman who fights every single day to lift working people out from under the boots of greed, trampling on our way of life.
She's awesome. She's going to be president someday. She's only still in her. I think she's still only in her 30s. So and like I said before, I mean, I think the sort of maybe the best time to be president is in your 50s. So she's got, we can still do 2 terms of Kamala Harris, and then maybe it'll be AOC running, maybe it'll be someone else, But I think we're looking at for future president, at least presidential material right there in AOC. She's awesome. I've liked her from the get-go. And some people like to criticize her, but I think she's awesome. I think she's completely awesome. So I love that. That was a little part of her speech from last night, and then we had. Here's just a short little clip here from the UAW president. I don't. I always forget his name. I know Sean Fain, I think, or whatever it was. But I thought this was pretty awesome. Let's do this one. Trump is a scab. Trump is a scab. Now, I see. I kind of cut that one. He goes, "It's getting hot in here," and he takes his jacket off, and underneath he shows that his shirt. I kind of oh shit, what did I do? I kind of cut that one a little too close, I guess. But I love that. Trump is a scab. Trump is a scab. Kamala Harris is going to get support of the unions because Trump is a scab, and we heard what him and Elon Musk were talking about, right? How they laugh and they just fire people if they want to unionize, which is a violation of U.S. labor laws. You can't fire people because they want to unionize. So I love that. Trump is a scab, and it just shows it really illustrates that UAW, one of the biggest unions in the country, and I think the Teamsters are going to support Kamala also, regardless of what their sellout president may have said. There are already factions breaking away from him, saying that they're going to vote for Kamala Harris, and they're going to challenge that guy. I think that's the other Sean. They're going to challenge him for president. Someone's going to challenge him for president for that union. Jupiter Judy says, I'm allergic since I was old. But hey, first of all, hello, Jupiter Judy. Good to see you. Thanks for joining us here in the driver's lounge. Judy says, I was allergic, only got one flu one time when I had a shot in high school, and doctor said I got from shot. They were live virus at times, so I don't get it. Hey, Mad Max here. Good to see Mad Max. Thanks for joining us in Driver's House. Says I tricked everyone here at work this morning. I bought tattoo sleeves with a tribal pattern and wore them and to work. Everyone got a good laugh. That's funny. Always the jokester over there at work, huh, Mad Mac? Sorry for coughing. I got a little bit of cough going here. I might not go to work tonight. I might just stay home, rest up, and try to knock this thing out. Let's see. Rubber Potent says, Jolie, poison oak is not known to grow in Indiana. Poison ivy and poison sumac, sure, but not poison oak. But then again, they say no bobcats in Indiana. And that's a lie. Oh, sorry about the coughing. Mr. Fox says the dentist took a tooth this morning. Took a tooth out this morning. I tried to extract it myself and ran into problems. The dentist worked on it for an hour. I'm sorry, guys. I'm getting a case of the coughs. Mike H says water counts. I might have some right now. Non-useful says there are Trump signs all over the Lake of the Ozarks in Missouri. That doesn't surprise me. In Missouri, Hey, butterflies are free. Is here. Hello, Trucker John and chat. Hope everyone is having a good day today. We're trying. But thanks for being here, by the way. Thanks for coming on into the chat room. Butterflies are free. Mostly listening today. Doing some chores. Butterflies are free. Love it. We'll see. She has become a powerful speaker. Yeah, I think she's awesome. Yeah, volume too low. Yeah, I'm not sure how to fix that on this app. There's really no volume control on it, so I guess it is kind of low because I have listened to playbacks before, and it is low. So you just got to put your ear next to the speaker when I play the clips. Pamela says that was his Hulk Hogan moment. Oh yeah, when he took off his shirt. Okay, yeah, I get it. Yeah. Yeah, because he said this hot in here. Yeah. But it was great. I love that. Everyone started chanting. Trump is a scab. Trump is a scab. Trump is toast, guys. Trump is toast. But like like I always say, and people always say, we can't take anything for granted. We can't let up. We got to vote. We all got to vote. Overwhelm the ballot box, man. Mrs. Buck, I was saying that for years. Mind your own business, you weirdo pervert. It has stuck because it's true. Andrew Petrie says, I had to wake up this morning to inform Trump that he's falling in the polls. He said, no way. And I said, way. Walter McCarver says, don't forget, Trucker John, Golden State Warrior head coach Steve Kerr was, oh, yeah, I saw that speech. He was good. Steve Kerr was good. And not only Golden State Warrior head coach, but a former Chicago Bull player, right? And this is being done in Chicago. Fancy says, have a good day. I'm off to run errands. You have a good day yourself. Thanks for being here, Fancy. Thanks for spending some time with us. And there's, I think I've caught up. I've got caught up. Man, I'm not sure if I'm going to go a full 2 hours a day. I really kind of, like I said, I'm kind of under the weather here. And I don't want to keep coughing into the microphone or everything. But anyway, what else is going on? So who's going to be on tonight? What's the schedule for tonight? I haven't seen. I know they have a schedule. I don't know who's going to be on, but I'll probably watch it tonight and see what they come up with, and we'll see. It'll be interesting to see if there's going to be a bounce in the polls after this. You know, Kamala has already. There has been a big swing since Biden stepped down, where Biden was behind and now Kamala is ahead. And if she can get even a bigger bounce after this DNC, man, just all the ketchup packets better beware that are anywhere near Donald Trump, or all the ketchup bottles or ketchup whatever. I guess he's not throwing packets. Like, I think he's throwing bottles of ketchup. Bagman says, "Get a short show, get some rest, bro." Well, you know, I'm going to go a little longer. Mr. Buck says, there is joy in the air. Why do you say Jamila is in the right place? Was that a typo? Trump curse, if the Trump curse is broken, just vote blue cube. Remember 2016, never again. Right. I guess that's a blue ballot box. Anyhow, yeah, remember 2016. That's kind of what I was saying on the last show, right? Remember? Remember that? Let's not repeat 2016. But her emails, remember that crap? All that crap? I think we've learned a lesson. Hopefully. Hopefully we've learned a lesson. That it's important to vote. Josh Cryer. You don't sit it out. You can never sit it out. There's no sitting out elections anytime. Just get your ballot and fill it out. And if you're at a place where you can mail it in, just mail it in. If you're at a place where you can drop it off at a box early, just drop it off at the box. If you have to go down to the polling place, I guess some places, because they're run by Republicans, they do make it hard for you in terms of having to wait in line. But I've never experienced that. I've always been blessed enough to live in an area where voting is easy peasy. Bonnie Agliata says, toast! Hey, Bonnie, good to see you. Thanks for being here. Walter McCarvich, Sugar John, you got your RSV vax? I don't think so. I don't even know what RSV is, so I guess I don't. Bishop about Kamala, for fuck's sake. Well, you know, I never know if someone's got a typo or if they're being snarky or trying to be witty or something. I don't know. I didn't mean to, you know. I should not have even said anything. I should not have even mentioned it. I should have let it go. I should just let it scroll on by. Roxanne says, you should probably get some more rest, Trucker John. Well, I will be. I'll be getting some rest. After this show, I'm gonna lay down and get some rest. Pamela says, I think Barack and Michelle tonight. Oh, so it's Barack tonight. I thought it was Wednesday night for Barack. Mr. Former President of the United States. But anyhow, if it's tonight, that's cool. Someone was saying that, I think it was in the Stephanie Miller chat on Twitch, that they were saying he should wear his tan suit. That would really like trigger the maggots or trigger the right wingers or whatever. For some reason, they don't like tan suits. I don't know. Not sure what that's all about, but there's lots of things about Republicans in general and maggots specifically that I don't get. So, Mad Max says, food all over the walls. The little spoiled child throws his plates of food against the walls. What a piece of shit. Yeah, he's a moron. Donald Trump is such a moron, isn't he? A fucking moron. And to think he became president of the United States. I could be president if Donald Trump could be president. I mean, shit. Let's see. Non-useless says, breaking news. Mpox virus updates. Who declares outbreak a public health emergency of international concern? Mpox. Is that monkeypox or something? AJ Daniel says, Orange Baby having a temper tantrum. They need to stick his ass in prison, and he can have all the temper tantrums he wants inside this little prison cell. Robert Perpon says, non-useful, but Mpox is not airborne, so it's nothing like an airborne virus like COVID. MJ Daniel, we can rest when Harris, Walz, and Democrats are running government again. We can rest, but we can never stop being involved, I think. You know, and we need to always vote. Every election, every time. Hey, Jeannie's here. Good to see Jean E. Thanks for joining us in the driver's lounge. Just sort of kicking it today. Non-useless says LGBTGI for Trump is an oxymoron. But when you say that, it kind of reminds me though of what's going on as far as I've never seen so many Republicans not only like not vote or say they're not going to vote for their candidate, but to actually say they're going to vote for the Democrat. We're seeing more and more of that. I mean, not just the mayor of Mesa, wherever it was, it was Mesa, Arizona, Republican, said he's going to vote for Kamala Harris. And there was some other group I guess I heard about today about there was a big faction, a big Republican faction was like saying they're going to vote for Kamala Harris. So that's kind of reminds me of what happened in 1980 with Ronald Reagan, when the Democrats, a lot of Democrats were voting for Reagan, which I still don't understand that, because Jimmy Carter was a good person and a good man. I can understand people jumping ship on Trump. I mean, after all, he's a 34-time convicted felon, and he's been found liable for sexual assault, and he's got a whole bunch of charges still to come that doesn't look good for him. Really serious charges, like espionage type shit, right? So and election interference in Georgia. So to me, that's justifiable. That Republicans are not only leaving him, but are going to vote for Kamala Harris to make sure that he doesn't win. I can understand that. I still can't understand the Jimmy Carter, Ronald Reagan thing, and I'm still angry about it. 44 years later. Mr. Spock says, kind of weird Tim Walz doesn't own stock property and usual sell out resources. It's refreshing. Billy Kid 73 is here. Hey, good to see Billy Kid. Haven't seen Billy Kid in a while. It says, afternoon all live from the DNC McCormick place where I'm currently mixing audio for WCPT Radio, Richard Chu. Hey, Billy Kid, that's awesome. That's right. Billy Kid works at these type of events and sets up, I guess, sound and everything. So, wow, that's pretty cool. Hey, Billy Kid, you got anything to report? Have you seen anything interesting? Anything to tell us about what's going on over there? Let us know if you got anything interesting that you've seen. Andrew Petrie says rocks head on field for the most part. It doesn't snow in the lower areas as much as in the mountains of Victoria. We get an odd snowstorm, mostly freezing rain. Billy Kid says just finished auto mixing with future Senator of West Virginia, Glenn Elliott. Wow. That's pretty cool. Billy Kid 73 says that Pamela 100%. I love my job. Yeah, it's a great job. Sounds like a great job. MJ Daniel says the Rosenbergs were hanged in the 50s for less than what DJT has done. He is an ongoing national security risk. Were they hanged or were they executed? Were they electrocuted? I thought they were electrocuted. I don't think we did hangings then. I think pretty much that was that form of execution. I don't think was used by then. It was pretty much either electrocution or gas chamber. With a few states that still had, because I remember Utah still had firing squad. Because remember I remember, was it in the 70s or early 80s or something, where there was a guy in Utah that was executed by firing squad. And I don't know if they still do that. If that's still available, that option. And now, of course, we have a lot of lethal injection that's kind of taken over for electrocution. I'm not sure I don't think electrocution is even allowed anymore. So nowadays it's either lethal injection. I think California still has gas chamber. I think, but I think most places are now lethal injection. But back in the Rosenberg's day, what was that, the 30s or 40s or whatever it was? I think it was either electric chair in most states, and then gas chamber in some states, and apparently firing squad in Utah. And there may have been some other states that had firing squad as an option. I think that was an option that the person could choose. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe not. I don't know. Let's see. Billy Kid says, Robert proponent, no way. IBEW local 134 and proud. MJ Daniel, they may have been the chair. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was the electric chair for the Rosenbergs. Pretty sure. Pamela says, I heard the wife was never found guilty. Non-useful says 1952. I guess that's when they were executed. I've heard stories that they were both innocent, but that's kind of why I'm against the death penalty. Kind of like what Hal says, and I didn't get this from Hal. Hal got it from me. No, I mean, and this is the way I've always felt. Why I've been anti-death penalty is because if you do make a mistake and you put that person to death, and then you find out, oops, it was not that person, well, you can't undo the death, the execution. But if you got them locked in prison for the rest of their lives, and then some evidence comes up that exonerates them, then you can let them go. That's really the only reason I'm against the death penalty, because I think there are people that are deserving of it. You know, Ted Bundy or uh, I don't know, just your basic serial killers and murderer, rapist type people. There are lots of people that have committed really heinous crimes, heinous, awful murders and things. Uh, I'm not saying they don't deserve it, but I'm just saying that just overall, if you execute the wrong person, you can't unexecute them. So anyhow, I don't really mean to take this into a show about executions, but anyhow, there you go. There you have it. Let's see. Andrew Petrie, I want to take Trump and Vance crab fishing. Wink, wink. Yeah, oops. Sorry about coughing. Robert, Billy Kid 73. Yesterday was Senator Robin Kelly. I'm expecting AOC in the next day or two. Oh, nice. Well, tell her that if you're able to talk to her, tell her that Trucker John said hi, and that he thinks that she will make a great president someday. In about, you know, I don't know, 8 to 15 years from now. 8 to 16 years from now. Sorry about the coughing. Hey, look at there, Jim Ellenberg, $2 super chat. Thank you so much, Jim. Thanks for the super chat. Those are always fun to get. I'm going to give that a heart. A heart and a thumbs up. Could we get a heart and a thumbs up for Jim Ellenberg? I don't know. I'm sort of like copying dude when he does that drums and doves thing, which I don't understand. But so I'm like, could we get a thumbs up and a heart for Jim Ellenberg, please? But yeah, thanks for that. And by the way, we've got super chats, super stickers. We got memberships, all kinds of ways you can support the show. We've got Buy Me a Coffee. And of course, like, subscribe, and share. Those are free, and they help a lot. They really, really do. And we're up to over 3,330 subscribers. It's really awesome. And it's because of folks like you that are helping the show grow. Pamela says, Trigger on you were right, electrocuted. Yeah, they were electrocuted. And there's a good chance they may have been innocent. Or like you say, someone said that the wife might have been or something. It all seems kind of hokey. I don't know. Anyhow, it's a long, long time ago, like 70 years ago. So, William says their kids spent a lifetime trying to clear their name. Jim says, I think they may just win, or we may just win. I think we got a good shot. Jim. But we got to vote. Don't take it for granted. No, none of this, it's only one vote, said the 40 million registered voters who didn't vote in 2016. Just think of those 40 million registered voters that voted, and if most of those were Democrats. But you do know, there was some pinpointing going on. There was some really surgical strikes with the misinformation campaigning going on by Russia that got this Oppo research and inside information from Paul Manafort, who was Donald Trump's campaign manager, I believe, worked on the campaign, was feeding Russians a lot of information, and they sicked their trolls and their bot farms, and with all kinds of disinformation, misinformation into those key areas, and it got a lot of people either to not to vote or to vote for Jill Stein or even to vote for Donald Trump. People that would normally vote for Hillary, So we just can't let it come down to that, being that close. So we got to overwhelm the ballot boxes everywhere. Vote for Kamala Harris, Tim Walz, and of course, Democrats all down the ticket. Give Kamala Harris the Congress that will help her to get the things through that she needs to get through. So we don't have a Mitch McConnell again getting more Supreme Court justices in that are going to take away rights of bodily autonomy and of choice away, you know. All that shit's got to stop. You know, it's got to stop. Non-useful Ricola cough drops. Yeah, maybe I should get some. I should stop by and get some of those. It's a good idea, non-useful. Robert Perez, like the captain of the Titanic said, what could go wrong? He just had to ask, didn't he? He just had to ask. MJ Daniels says 2016 many under 30 did not vote and voted third party because of Republican lies, but this time I don't think they are falling for it. Like I said, I do think we've learned a lot of lessons from 2016, and we've seen since then, 2020, Joe Biden beat Trump by almost 8 million votes. We saw the midterms where there was no big red wave. It wasn't even a trickle. It wasn't even a little red trickle. And we've seen all these other like special elections and around the country where Democrats, outperformed, overperformed. We've seen huge turnouts regarding if there's something like on a ballot regarding keeping abortion legal or keeping a woman's ability to make her own bodily decisions. We've seen huge turnouts for that. We've been saying November. We've been saying November ever since the Dobbs case. So we have all these things. Everything's lining up. We just got to make sure we go out and execute it. It's like practicing all week in football. You run your plays. You practice the plays. You're getting ready for the team that you're going to be playing on Friday night. If we're talking high school, or Saturday if we're talking college, and Sunday if we're talking the pros, but you're prepping for that game, getting your game plan together, and as it gets closer and closer to game time, you feel ready, you feel like you prepared well, and then you just got to go out and execute. So now that's what we got to do. I think we prepared pretty well. I mean, we still got a couple months to go here. This is like the home stretch. Kamala Harris and Tim Walz are going to keep barnstorming the country and campaigning and getting their message out and getting support all across the country. And then when it comes time to vote, we, the voters, we need to do it. We need to show up at the ballot box and get rid of this orange menace once and forever. The orange menace. We must restore balance to the country by getting rid of the orange menace. Sorry about the wiping of the nose. Sorry about that. James Williams says Paul Manafort was Putin's operative in Ukraine. Coincidence he arrived in America to run Trump's campaign for free? I think not. Yeah, it wasn't there. Yeah, it was not a coincidence. It was not a coincidence. You're right, James. Old Seer says, hello, John. Hi, folks. Sure enjoying this stream. Thanks to all of you. Well, thank you for being here, Old Seer. Good to see you. Thanks for hanging out with us. I hope you give me a thumbs up and maybe a subscription, maybe subscribe and the share button, and all that good stuff. But thanks for hanging out with us. MJ Daniel says, I'm in Washington, but we have to vote as if there are no safe Democratic states, hoping to elect the state AG Bob Ferguson governor here. Yeah, every election, is important. Every at all levels, federal, state, city, county. It's important to vote. Old Seer says, hi, Roxanne. Hope you're enjoying the convention. Jim Adelberg says, I like to see Florida go blue. I would like to see that too. I would love for Kamala to beat Trump in his home state. And I would love to see Rick Scott get bounced. Because he's a sack of shit. And so the Democrat running against him, I forget her name, but she needs to win. And I think the polls are really close. And they're expecting a big turnout because they've got a pot initiative, I think, on their ballot. Plus the abortion restrictions that are going on in Florida. A lot of people are upset. They got the women upset, and they got people coming out to vote for pot. So, and a lot of those probably might vote for Democrats. So that'll be interesting to see how that turns out. And I think Florida is in play for sure. Old Seer says, already done with a great honor. Well, the honor is mine, Old Seer. Thank you so much for liking, subscribing, and sharing. I do appreciate it. James Williams, there are no safe seats anywhere. Remember Hillary. I know, that's what I've been saying. Mad Max says, believe me, I prefer seeing you wipe your nose over sniffing constantly. It drives me spare. Maybe drive me nuts. I don't know. When adults continually sniff up their snot, so bloody gross. I agree. And I sometimes I get passengers in my car doing that. And I used to keep tissues in the back seat, but I used to have these. I used to get because I was staying in hotels a lot when I was driving the truck, and I would get hotels every now and then, and a lot of the Kleenex boxes that they have in the hotels are just thin enough that they fit perfectly in the side pocket of the door on the Tesla. And so I would grab some of those, and this is before I got my apartment. Or even when when I was in that other place before I moved here, they had those there, and I would get those boxes from them, and I would put them in. That's where I wasn't really from the hotels; it was from the last apartment I was living in, which was it was an apartment, but it was kind of like run like a hotel, right? It was like a long-term hotel, so you kind of had maid service that you could pay extra for, and they would supply the place with tissue boxes, and the tissue boxes, like I said, they had a certain thickness or width that fit perfectly in the side pocket. But since I moved out of there, I don't have access to those anymore. And when I go to the store, I cannot find a Kleenex box or a tissue box that is the exact width that I need. They're all too big. They're all a little too big. So I don't keep Kleenexes back there anymore. I used to keep Kleenexes back there. So now all I have really in my car are napkins like these in my middle console. And there's been a few times where I've offered people those, but it's a little different than if I just had the boxes back there. Anyhow, Mad Max says Rick Scott is a piece of scheissel. He should be behind bars. Well, he got away with ripping off, was it Medicare or Medicaid or something? At least the company that he was, I think, in charge of. I don't know what his exact role was, but they ripped off either Medicaid or Medicare for like $3 billion. Non-useful is waiting for Trucker John to blow a snot bubble. Ain't gonna happen. Hey, Jose Barrios is here. It says, if Harris defeats Trump, do you see Republicans finally disowning Trump and revert back to their old traditional selves, or continue to stand by him? I think this will be the end of Trump when he loses, and also he's going to go to prison, and whatever base he still has is going to even shrink to a smaller size. He'll always have, a base of support probably. But I think the Republican Party, we've already seen a lot of people jumping ship. They're voting for Kamala. A lot of Republicans have come out and said they're going to vote for Kamala Harris. I think that now that doesn't mean they're going to be Democrats for life. I think as soon as Trump is out of the picture, those Republicans are going to go back, but they're going to try to find another leader. And whether that leader is better or worse, I don't know. Like I've said, though, no matter what, they're really all the same in terms of what they want to accomplish. It doesn't matter if it's Donald Trump or a Mitt Romney. I always use Mitt Romney as the example because he seems to be the one that people think of as being this kind of reasonable Republican or whatever. Just remember, that guy's a vulture capitalist. He buys companies, he buys them out, hostile takeover. He runs them into the ground, gets all the money out that he can. He takes loans on them, takes the money, and then bankrupts the companies. That's what a vulture capitalist is. That's what Mitt Romney is. And if he or anyone like him were to become president, a Republican, it would be the same old shit. Lowering taxes on the wealthy and stripping away regulations, business regulations, work regulations, things of this nature. That's what they do. So it doesn't really matter if it's Trump or Mitt Romney. But I will say that I don't think of Mitt Romney or any reasonable Republican. I don't think that they are. I guess it's the thing like Project 2025, right? Or the Project 47 or whatever Trump is trying to say. No, this is my one, and it's pretty much the same thing. I don't think that the more reasonable Republicans are all in favor of destroying democracy per se. Although they have no qualms about getting these activist, right wing activist judges on the SCOTUS to take away women's rights, take away voting rights, strip away all these things. Once again, there's not a whole lot of difference. It's just a different package. You've got one that's maybe it's a nice, really well wrapped package, and then you have another one that's just a shitty, beat up, torn up package. But inside, it's kind of the same thing. So, you know, so my suggestion is just don't ever stop voting for Republicans because they're all pretty shitty. They really don't give a damn about working class people, middle class people. They sure as fuck don't give a fuck about poor people. They'd rather just, I don't know, send them all to jail or something. Hey, Del Francisco says, "Hiya, Trucker John, sir, and all the people in here, all the peeps in here." Well, Del Francisco, thanks for coming into the driver's lounge today and hanging out with us. Good to see you. Marie Bankston is here, or Bankston. Hey, Marie, good to see you. Maria, not Marie, Maria Bankston is here. Everyone who still supports Trump and his enablers are banana Republicans and are just weird cult members. um, Yeah. Non-useful says Trump will always have a community of groupies similar to cult following. Yeah, but I do think his little following is shrinking. Mad Max says, how any woman could find Rick Scott appealing is beyond me. If anything, he has an inflatable Ingrid doll. That bloke is so much a wiener face little twit that looks like a Q-tip without the Q. Well, I always think he looks like Skeletor or something, or really has a, let's just call it, unique look. How's that? Uh, Anyhow, James Williams says treason should have a terrible consequence, in my opinion. Hey, yeah, I mean, I know there were a time when treason was a capital offense. You know, but at the very least, life in prison without the possibility of parole comes to mind. Hey, Diana Nelson's here. Diana says, "Good afternoon, everybody." Good afternoon to you, Diana. Over here in Las Vegas, it's still morning. We're still in the AM. It's 10:35 here in Las Vegas, Nevada. Coming at you, live from Las Vegas, Nevada. It's the Trucker John Show. Thank you very much. Non-useful says Paul Ryan, Mitt Romney, Liz Cheney, and Adam Kinzinger will form another conservative movement that's similar to the grand old parties of old. And like I said, different package, same old shit. Because Paul Ryan, Mitt Romney, Liz Cheney, Adam Kinzinger, what do they all have in common? They're against choice. And they have no qualms about, taking away the Voting Rights Act or stripping down the Civil Rights Act. You know, so yeah, I mean, are they better than Trump? I guess. I mean, of course, because Trump is a narcissist sociopath who really has no qualms about destroying the country, destroying democracy, and just making it into a dictatorship. I don't think Paul Ryan and Mitt Romney and Liz Cheney and Adam Kinzinger want to do that. I don't think so, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm giving him too much credit. I don't know. Mad Max says Nosferatu comes to mind thinking about Rick Scott's looks. I think Rudy Giuliani is more of the Nosferatu. Diana Nelson, I'm in Philadelphia, PA. All right, Diana from Philly, all the way from Philly. Philadelphia freedom. I don't know. Anyhow, Diana says, thank you for the warm welcome. You're very, very welcome. Thank you for being here. Jen Halliburton says 40 years in the wilderness for the GOP. I think so, Jen, by the way. I think we're ushering in a time where we could have another golden era of 40 years of Democratic majorities. And, we need to learn the lessons of the Reagan elections and the W election and the Trump election and not let them ever fool us or trick us ever again. That whatever October surprise that they may have, that we'll always be able to be ready for it. And just keep voting for Democrats next 40 years. I think we could see a 40-year period of Democratic rule starting, well, I guess you can start it with Biden, but and continuing it on through Harris and on down the line, Diana Nelson says Kamala Wallace 2024 has two voters up and down the ticket. Has two voters up. Wait, what do you mean has two voters up and down the ticket? I don't know what that means. What do you mean they have 2 voters up? I don't understand that. I'm sorry. I feel stupid now. I feel extremely stupid right now. Mad Max says, but at least I won't suck your blood like Rick Nosferatu's snot would do. At Pamela. Diana Nelson says, me and my husband, he is a retired correctional officer, and I am currently working in healthcare. So I guess you're saying like there's at least 2 votes there with you and your husband. I guess that's what you're saying. Mike H. has been lurking for a while, I think. Mike H says that Kamala is a copycat and afraid to do interviews. I don't think she's afraid. I think she'll be doing them. I think she's been waiting for the convention, maybe. But and she's not a copycat. If you're talking about the no tax on tips, I think she brought that up because Donald Trump is just saying no tax on tips, a big blanket thing, and Kamala Harris was very specific, saying no tax on tips for the for people in the service industries or whatever it was. In other words, waiters and waitresses and bartenders, and hotel staff, wait staff, no tax on their tips. But if you're a multi-billionaire or a millionaire, and you try to say, yeah, I only charged the guy $1, but it was a wink wink nod thing, like, but then the person paid him $1 million. That I just tipped him $1 million, and then that goes. So there's no tax on that. So you got to make sure. See, that's the thing. You can't just go, no tax on tips. There's always a finer side to things. You can't just. And Donald Trump doesn't know that because he's stupid. It's like when he always talks about tariffs. Tariffs have their place. And there are tariffs that, if you do them strategically, that work. But Donald Trump is just like, I'll do across the board 20% tariff. Which means that everything's going to get raised 20% to the consumers, probably, So there are ways to do things in a strategic, tactical, strategic kind of way. And I think that's why Kamala Harris said, yeah, we'll do the thing. We'll do the no tax on tips things, but it's going to be for specific types of work. It's not going to be where some multimillionaire gets to say that they just got a tip for something, Mad Max says, we won't be fooled again. I guess I shouldn't sing when I'm sick because it makes me cough. Right after the show, non-useful, I'm going to run down and get some of those Ricola. Dana Nelson says, me and my husband are voting blue, all up and down ticket. That's what I meant. And I know, and I was slow on the uptake. Sometimes I'm a little slow on the uptake. But I'm glad you guys are voting blue. I always say, vote blue for all the things that are dear to you. That's what I say. Vote blue for all the things that are dear to you. So if your ability to make your own choice about your reproductive choices is dear to you, vote blue. If you would like to have better access to health care, maybe have a universal healthcare system, maybe like Medicare for all, that's a dear thing to you, you should vote blue. If better working conditions and wages are an important issue to you, I suggest you vote blue. See, that's how that works. See what I mean? James Williams says the grand old party that brought us Nixon, Reagan, the Bushes, the Trumps. That party? Yeah, that party. Don't vote for them. They know good. They know good. Hey, Izolda Zin's here. Good to see Izolda. Thanks for stopping by and saying hi and all that good stuff. Always good to see Izolda. Non-useful says Newsmax and Phone News is already peddling lies about Kamala Harris being drunk and high all the time. Wow. I think that is just more projection. I think that's all the people who work at Newsmax Max and Phone News are probably drunk and high all the time because they know that their ship is sinking. Hospitality, yeah, attribution. The hospitality workers. What did I say? I said whatever I said. It was wrong. It was wrong. It was wrong and stupid. Whatever I said. But yes, the hospitality workers. She specified hospitality workers as opposed to Elon Musk getting a tip. You know, for $1 billion and saying, "Oh yeah, it was a tip." Bingston, Maria Bingston. Roxanne, I thought you were a movie star. Well, I don't know if Roxanne Arfield is a movie star or not, but definitely a star in this driver's lounge. Zolda Zen says Trump is a nuclear bomb of weaponized ignorance. Wow. Very poetic. Jim Adelberg, imagine how much Putin could tip Trump. Right. They kind of do anyhow. They back loans for him that no one else would give him. Mad Max says, get some NyQuil whilst you're at it, TJ. That's some good stuff. I know. And when I was the last time I was really, really sick was last November. And I went through 2 bottles of NyQuil. I bought a nighttime one and a daytime one. And I went through both of those bottles. I don't have any left, I don't think. So, yeah, might have to get some more. Maria Bingston says, I think more people will see The King Without Clothes. Yeah. He's getting exposed to more and more people all the time. His little following is shrinking. Diana Nelson says, my company that I work for, their motto is to help people get care, stay well, and build healthy communities. Sounds like a great motto. Oops, I sniffled, and I just probably pissed off Mad Mac. Sorry about that, Mad Mac. Let's see here. Non-useful. Seeing The King Without Clothes, it made non-useful puke. The thought of it, just the thought of it. And there I go. I'm sniffling again, and I should not do that. I should blow it out. I gotta blow it out. James Williams says Putin will tip Trump right out a window, loose ends and all that. Yeah, I'm not sure. We're talking about Trump being a flight risk. I'm not sure if he wants to go to Russia. Oh, somebody was yelling. I don't know if you guys heard that or not. But there does seem to be a tendency of people falling out of windows over there. Oh, there's something about their windows in Russia where people seem to just fall out of them. Andrew Petrie says, everyone in this trucker's lounge is a star. Maria Bingston says, in Sweden, we pay maximum $250 a year for healthcare and medicines totally. You should start looking at the Scandinavian model. Well, I hear that's the happiest place on earth, Scandinavia and the Netherlands and all that stuff, because of their social democracy, social programs. A lot of great services that are provided, healthcare and education, even college, all that good stuff. For sure. Bad Mac says, ew, that's a horrid vision in my brain now, the felon wannabe king without clothes. Well, you do remember someone made a statue. I think it was during the Trump administration when he was president. Didn't someone make a statue of a naked Trump? And it looked like it was probably pretty accurate. and they put it out in like the middle of somewhere in New York City, I believe. Um, Isolde Zen says, where would he escape to where he is seen as valuable? What would he do in Russia? Well, I don't. Yeah, I don't know. There's just only so many places he could go to, I guess, where he wouldn't be extradited, where he would get safe harbor. Russia might be one of them, but like we say, I mean, you never know if he might end up accidentally tripping and falling out a window or something. Because apparently that goes on a lot in Russia. Mad Max says, I think the pedo Trump would flee to Saudi Arabia. And that was one of my others. It's either Russia, Saudi Arabia. Really, those are the only two places, I think. Del Francisco says, I hope you don't have that COVID strain going around. I had it and it sent me to the hospital in July. I think it's just a head cold. Just a good old fashioned head cold. Roxanne says, whatever happened to the baby Trump statue? Well, they had wasn't it a baby Trump like inflatable balloon type of thing? Inflatable. I remember that. And the statue that I remember it was like a sort of a adult Trump, but naked. It was basically what it would be like if it was a statue of me. I think Trump and I probably had the same body and the same diet, the same exercise regimen, which is like which is shitty diet and no exercise. So I'm really one to talk here. Hey, Julie says Trucker John has channel memberships and super chats. You can also support the show by liking, subscribing, and sharing, or buy John a coffee. Thank you for that reminder. All great ways to support the show. Keep us going. Keep us, just keep us going. James Williams says, we may be tired of COVID, but it certainly isn't tired of us. Mad Max says, they made golden statue wearing Apollo Creed stars in stripes boxing trunks. Another thing that MTG rubbed the crotch on. Ooh. I don't remember that statue of Apollo Creed. And that MTG did that. I didn't see that. Del Francisco dual home test. That's how mine started. And Jim Elbert. Are they still sending out free ones? Non-useful says, do you think New York State Prison will accommodate Miss Katara Ravici with a little stage in the rec room for entertainment for the inmates? I don't know who that is. I've got no idea who that is. Robert Perez says, don't forget to give thumbs up for Trucker John. Thank you for that reminder. Yeah, thumbs ups. It's a good way to get us out into the algorithm. Did I miss Denise in here? I don't know, but I just saw where Jim says I have better hair. Thank you. Oh, there's Denise. Good morning, TJ. Oh, somehow I didn't see that. Hey, Denise Wilkins, good to see you. Thanks for joining us, by the way. That says good morning, TJ, and good morning, chat. Sorry, late. No sleep, coughing, and got the chills, but it was hot. I feel crummy. But Harris Walls 2024. I was talking about me being sick, and I kind of been coughing, and I have a head cold, and I did feel a little bit of chills just before I started the show, but I don't feel them now, so I don't know. But I remember, like, just before I started the show, I felt chills, and I was like, oh no, now chills are coming on. But I don't feel them now, so I don't know. But I hope you get better soon, Denise. Try to drink plenty of clear liquids. Get some Ricola, and get some rest. Get some NyQuil. Well, these are the suggestions I've been getting. So, and get a COVID test, home test, I guess, just in case. It wouldn't help. It wouldn't hurt. I mean, Andrew Petrie says this is morbid, but for national security, should they dig up the coffin? Uh, at the golf course, 10 people carry it. I think they should. But I wonder if they're just afraid, like, what if we dig it up and there's nothing in there, you know? And maybe it was 10 people to carry it because they're all weaklings. You know, if it was Eric and Don Jr. and those people, I mean, they probably can't even lift anything. I don't know. But I do. I wonder what's in there. Because I think she was murdered. I don't think. And I know this is all conspiratorial. I think she was pushed down those stairs or, you know, set a little tripwire or something. And she tripped and fell and broke her neck. It was all very convenient, right? The timing of it and everything. And then they used her coffin to hide more stuff that he's not supposed to have. But then what if you do all that and then, you know, there's nothing in there, then that makes you look stupid and it kind of vindicates Trump in a way. I mean, at least for that one little thing. It doesn't vindicate it for everything. Mad Max says, I hope at least you have something bigger than Ravens Trump's teeny weeny Vienna sausage mini mushroom, TJ. Well, that's for me to know. And all my ex-girlfriends and wives, well, they know already. Damn it. Sorry about the coughing. Oh, wow. I'm getting a little dizzy now. That cough made me get dizzy for some reason. I'm probably going to make some soup. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to make soup today. It's just canned soup. It's not like I'm some big. Don't think. Oh, Chuck John's a cook. He knows how to, you know. And I'm like, you know, cutting up vegetables and making a broth. No, I have canned soup, but I'm gonna heat it up. I'm gonna heat that shit up, man. I think that's what I'm gonna do. I always hear soup's good for you. So when you're sick. Let's see. Mad Max says, yeah, the Golden Tramp was wearing stars and stripes boxing shorts. It was about 4 feet high. Well, that's not Apollo Creed. Anyhow. Maria Bigson says, I have tried to give you more thumbs up, but YouTube won't allow me more than one. Yeah, only one per channel. If you have more than one channel, you could do more. James Williams says, we run a small food takeout. We test our staff immediately if they have any symptoms. And when anybody in the community has been exposed, it is a pain, but we try our best to keep our neighbors safe, or the neighbors safe. That's very nice of you. Very, very responsible of you, James Williams. And very smart. Try to keep things, you know, from getting out of hand. Mad Matt, vodka and gin are clear liquids. I might just resort to that. I don't know. Mad Mac, dig her up, dig her up. Whoops. Anyhow, Yeah, Jim Hallerberg saying the coffin is stuffed full of classified documents. That's the suspicion. Non-useful says ground penetrating radar would give a good idea of what's in the coffin. Yeah, if they have that technology, they should do that for sure. Mad Max says felon Trump pushed her down the stairs and then cremated her to a further so a further autopsy could not be performed. It happened too quickly. Well, I don't know, but it's all fishy. It's definitely fishy. You can't deny that. Now we may never know exactly what happened, and maybe it did happen just like they claim it happened. That she just tripped and fell and whatever. Again, one of those trip and falls, right? Um, but it's all very suspicious and fishy. So I don't know. I guess that's all I got to say about that. Denise says, "Wow, what is this? What is what?" I don't know what you're talking about. What is this? Oh, Mad Max says some good chicken soup is magic. It's magic. I'll have to look and see what I've got. I've got some cans of soup in the cupboard. If I don't have chicken soup, I might have to run to the store and get some, along with the Ricola, Nyquil, and what else was I going to get? I forget. Some clear liquids. Maria Bingston says, James Williams, you are a good, responsible employer. Thank you for caring for other people. Yeah, that's very, very awesome of James Williams. I'm not sure if all employers do that, would do that. So Andrew Petrie says, Drunk on a Plane, great song. Drunk on a plane again. Maria Bingston says, John, maybe I missed it, but you sound like you have a cold. COVID test? Everybody, that's the first thing they say. Yes, I have a cold. I've been dealing with it for a couple days now, and throughout this whole show. I have not taken a COVID test. I believe it's just a cold. People are saying I should do a COVID test just to make sure. Ron Flugrath. Hey, Ron, good to see you. Thanks for being here. Says normal people wait longer for cremation than Dumpy Golf Farm did, like for lightning strike. It was pretty rushed, I guess is what we're saying. It was really quick. It was like cremate her and get her in the ground as fast as possible. Pamela says wear a mask. Zola zinc gummies. Are those good for colds? Zinc gummies? Apple 707 says the Vicks VapoCool severe cough drops are pretty good. Okay. Thanks for all these suggestions, everybody. Hey, Pastor Bodaster's here in the driver's lounge. Good to see Pastor Bodaster. Haven't seen the good pastor in a while. So thanks for joining us as we kick back in the driver's lounge. Getting suggestions for a cold, how to handle a cold, apparently, is where this show has gone. Non-user says, how does one fall down a grand staircase, break your neck, and only have major bruising only in the abdominal region per autopsy review? Very fishy indeed. Let's see. She, I don't know. That's a good question. Pastor Bordaster says Hello. Pastor Bodaster says lemon Italian ice helps, and chicken soup, and 7-Up. Yep, that was always a thing. When I was sick as a kid, I would get either chicken noodle soup and usually a grilled cheese sandwich at some point, and some 7-Up, some crackers with the soup, and then usually some tomato soup at some point. My mom would mix it up. Here's some tomato soup. Like if I was sick for multiple days, like one day was chicken noodle, another day would be tomato with crackers, and usually a grilled cheese sandwich and some 7-Up. And that was the deal. Non-useful says honey and fresh lemon or lime. William says chicken soup, Jewish penicillin. Someone was sick. I guess it was Nicole Sandler is sick, and she said she's eating matzo ball soup. Guess that's another good one. Pastor Bodaster says the garlic and the tomato soup is good when sick. Pamela says this has been fun as always, but I must go and pick up my grandson from school. Have a great day, everybody. Hey, Pamela, thanks for being here, and yeah, go pick up your grandson, and we'll see you on the next one. Let's see, how long has it been? How long have I been in here? God, it's been 2 hours, so I think I'm gonna probably end the show and get some rest and get some of those things we were talking about, so that hopefully on the next show, which I'm planning on Thursday, I will feel better. Hopefully this thing will have run its course and I'll be good as new by then. So in the meantime, let's see. I guess we got Hal Sparks coming on today. He's going to be doing a lot of stuff on the convention, and he's going to be doing a lot of stuff on Project 2025, apparently. So that'll be interesting. I think he's on today. Well, you know what? I know he was doing what's he call it down in Hollywood, where he sings at the Whiskey A Go Go. So I'm not sure if he's doing an afternoon show, actually. And if I felt better, I would do an afternoon show. But I don't feel better. So I think I'm just going to rest. So I'm not sure if Hal's on today. If you guys know, let me know. You can let us know in the chat if you guys heard anything. He might not be on today because I think he's doing that. I think he's driving to LA or whatever. Now, Maria says, John, do you have Italian ancestors? I thought about chicken soup and tomato. Have a great day. Fight, fight, fight. I don't know if I don't think I have any Italian ancestry. But, who knows? I think it's mainly, I was always told it's English and French and Irish and Norwegian and Native American. Of course, everyone's got Native American in them. Basically, that's, if you combine both sides, right? It says, non-useful says, before you go to bed, take a pair of old socks, I guess. Put vapor rub on your bottom feet. God, you guys, I feel like I'm 5 again. I mean, this is the shit my mom would do. Like, she would rub it on my chest, the vapor rub. Anyhow. Then he says, okay, I needed to crawl back into bed. I'm tired. See ya. Yeah, Denise, get some rest. Hey, let's all rest up and get better. I know some of us are sick. Jolie's been sick, and Denise is sick. I'm sick. Some other people are sick. Let's get rested up. Let's get better. Let's make sure we're healthy for the fight. Make sure we're in it to win it, and make sure we all vote blue, like the color of my shirt. Vote for these guys. Wait, these guys. It's backwards. Everything's backwards. Oh, there we go. Yeah. Vote for those guys. Let's defeat Trump. Let's send Trump packing. And send him on his way and just make him just a little footnote in history, and let's get another big 40-year run of Democratic rule, Democratic majorities, Democratic presidencies. Vote blue for all the things that are dear to you. And I will see you guys Thursday morning, 9 a.m. Pacific time, and probably 3 in the afternoon for a little hour warm-up show before Hal. All right, so mark that on your calendars. I'll try to remind you on YouTube here, on the community chat thing, and some other social medias. I try to get some reminders out there. And just enjoy the DNC tonight and tomorrow, and on Thursday we'll talk about it some more. And I guess that's about it. Jolie was in there. Oh yeah, thanks, Sean. Feel better soon. You too, Jolie. Hope you get better soon. Slava Ukraini from Mad Mac. Slava Ukraini. Non-useful mask up in public. I've got boxes of masks. I should probably start breaking them out. So those shower tabs are useful. All right, guys. Thanks for joining me and putting up with my sniffing and sniveling and my coughing and all that good stuff. And let's see, just in parting, just remember, even if you're sick, you got a little cold, I think you can still do a little stretching. I think you can still stretch out the hammy. Because you don't want to, you don't want to pull a hammy. Especially when you're sick. Can you imagine being sick and having a pulled hamstring at the same time? You don't want to do that. You don't want to do that. All right, guys. I'm checking out. I think Diane is on. If you guys like Diane and Benny, they're on. And then I think we've got Randy Rhodes coming on at noon. All that good stuff. Go check out. Support these shows. Support these left-leaning, liberal, progressive, democratic shows like mine. And there's like Randy Rhodes and Nicole Sandler, of course, Hal Sparks, Liberal Dan, Diana Benny over there, the suffragettes, all that. Let's give everybody support. And the best thing, cheap way, and very beneficial, like, subscribe, share. That stuff all matters. It all helps. And chatting, that helps. It's all a great thing. So do that. But yeah, don't forget to stretch. All right, guys. I'll see you Thursday, 9 a.m. Pacific time. I will see you then. And I'm going to shut that mic off.
Well, it's time to say goodbye. The show has come to an end. But don't be sad, no, don't you cry. We're all gonna come back and meet again. Have some fun times, hopefully nothing too bad. We might talk about war crimes, might talk about Baghdad. I doubt we'll talk about door chimes, but if we did, I'd be only too glad. So I hasta la vista, baby. The show is over, but could I ask you maybe to take a shower? No, that's not what I meant, but I couldn't think of anything to rhyme with over. Now my whole rhyming scheme is all screwed up. Oh shit, I should have stuck to truck driving, who I try to kid. At least when I was out there driving, I could handle a skid, but doing this live stream, baby, has been a real kid. So I hope to see y'all again right here on the Trucker John live stream. We're gonna do it again and again, right here in the Trucker John live stream. Yeah, the Trucker John live stream. We're gonna come back and do it all again. No, this ain't no dream. This is where we win, right here on the Trucker John live stream. No, this time to say goodbye. The show is coming in. Don't be sad, no, don't you cry. We're all gonna come back and meet again. Well, it's time to say goodbye. The show has come to an end. But don't be sad, no, don't you cry. We're all gonna come back and meet again. We'll have some fun times, hopefully. Nothing too bad. We might talk about war crimes, might talk about Baghdad. I doubt we'll talk about gold chimes, but if we did, I'd be only too glad. So hasta la vista, baby. The show is over, but could I ask you, baby, to take a shower? No, that's not what I meant, but I couldn't think of anything to rhyme with over. Now my whole rhyming scheme is all screwed up. Oh shit, I should have stuck to truck driving. Who am I trying to kid? At least when I was out there driving, I could handle the skid. Doing this live stream, baby, it's been a real kid. So I hope to see y'all again, right here on the Trucker John live stream. We gonna do it again and again and again, right here in the Trucker John live stream. Yeah, the Trucker John live stream. We're gonna come back and do it all again. No, this ain't no dream. This is where we win, right here on the Trucker John kid. At least when I was out there driving, I could handle the skid. Doing this live stream, baby, it's been a real kid. So I hope to see y'all again, right here on the Trucker John live stream. We gonna do it again and again and again, right here in the Trucker John live stream. Yeah, the Trucker John live stream. We're gonna come back and do it all again. No, this ain't no dream.